Welcome everyone to FSPN's coverage of high school baseball. We're in Fort Myers for the FHSAA Class 5A final game. It's the championship. And we're here at beautiful Fort Myers at Hammond Field. And we have the Wesley Chapel Wildcats that are the visitors on the scoreboard, and they're led by their head coach, Trip Merrill. You can also find Thomas Byron and Bud Merrill in the dugout, as well as Brett Messer. And they'll be playing the home team on the scoreboard, which are the Mater Academy Lions. And, of course, they're led by Humberto Bencomo. You can also find Jose Fernandez Brito in that dugout, Coach Molina, Coach Fajin. Tito Rodriguez will be making his way to the mound. He's the one that talks to the pitchers. Ricky Rojas is the athletic director. The pitching coach. Juan Butch Canicero is the athletic director. And Alex Tamargo is the principal for the Mater Academy Lions. I want to welcome you all. I'm Uncle Muggs. I'll be bringing you the play-by-play for the next couple of hours in this championship game. And I can tell you it's another spectacular, beautiful day here in Fort Myers for baseball. For the last 3 days, there hasn't been a cloud in the sky. And today we might have a few puffy clouds moving around. The wind is blowing out of the east at about 5 miles an hour. And we're at a beautiful park called Hammond Stadium. And it's in the part of the Lee County Sports Complex. And it's a huge field. It belongs to the Minnesota Twins during spring training. And then they hand it over to the Fort Myers Mighty Muscles for their single-A season. But this week and the next couple days, we're going to have nothing but high school teams here fighting it out for the state title. And let's talk about the dimensions of Hammond Field. I mean, it's 330 down the lines, folks. This is a big, big park. 405 down to center field, 385 in the power alleys. And they're introducing the Wesley Chapel Wildcats right now. And we had a chance to talk to Trip Merrill. He's a great guy. They're having a great experience up here. And now that let's talk about the teams a little bit. The Mater Academy Lions, it wouldn't be a Mater game if we didn't have a little bit of drama. And we had some drama on Thursday's game. Jonathan Esponda, the left fielder, the junior for the Mater Academy Lions, he got thrown out of the game for arguing balls and strikes with the umpires. So they'll be without Jonathan Esponda today, and that's going to be a big gap in Mater's lineup. He's the second batter. He's a leader defensively on this team. And they're going to miss him. So now that we're talking about the Mater Academy Lions, let's go over their defense real quick. On the mound is going to be the senior right-hander. I call him the Dominican dandy, Alfred Rosario. Behind the plate, it's going to be Jacob Amador. On first base, it's Brian Arrieta. Iker Noguera is the senior second baseman. Brandon Lorenzo is the shortstop for the Lions. Yodelkis Quevedo will be playing third base. Heury La Rosa is taking over for Esponda in left field, and Dylan Fernandez is the center fielder. Brian Fernandez is playing right field. And that's the defense for the Mater Academy Lions. And let's go over the offense here, the starting lineup for the visitors on the scoreboard, the Wesley Chapel Wildcats. Leading off and playing second base is Dylan Pabon. He'll be followed by the shortstop, Nolan Hartley. Batting third is Zor Wright, and he'll be playing first base. The cleanup batter is Cole Rancho, and he's the catcher. Batting fifth is Jojo Guevara. He'll be playing third base. The DH is Aiden Gwynn, and he's the sixth batter. Seventh batter is Connor Franklin. He'll be playing right field. Jacob Christensen is the left fielder, and rounding out the Wildcats lineup is the center fielder, Bryce Fleming. And on the mound for the Wildcats today, it's Chase Fleming. So that's your offense and defense. And once we get over with the first half inning, we'll go over the offense for the Mater Academy Lions and the defense for Wesley Chapel. Right now they're introducing, let's get that camera on there. They're introducing the Mater Academy Lions, and then we're going to have the national anthem. And then we're going to have to switch to the audio-only mode of this broadcast. HFSN is the official network for FHSAA, so you can watch the live stream on their channel, and you can listen to Uncle Muggs here. And from time to time, I'll be coming to you in Spanish. Voy a estar hablando de vez en cuando en español para nuestros oyentes allá en Hialeah Gardens y nuestros latinos que quieren saber de lo que está pasando aquí con los Mater Academy Lions. Te puedo decir que estamos en Fort Myers, en donde es un bello día, otro día espectacular, un poquitico de calor. 3 días no había nubes en el cielo, hoy hay unas cuantas nubecitas y los están presentando ahora los Leones de Matter Academy y ellos están con el coach de ellos, el head coach que se llama Humberto Bencomo. También en el dugout está José Fernández Brito, está coach Molina, está coach Fajín, Ricky Rojas está encargado de los pitchers, Tito Rodríguez es el encargado también de los pitchers, Butch Carnicero es el director atlético y el encargado del colegio entero se llama Alex Tamargo y él está aquí apoyando a su equipo, los Matter Academy Lions, que están presentándolos ahorita mismo, están saliendo al terreno y en unos minuticos vamos a cambiar para hacer solamente el audio de este programa. Si quieres verlo en vivo, puedes ir al HFSN y esos son los network que van a poner en vivo el broadcast de este juego. Puedes verlo y puedes oírlos conmigo aquí, que ellos no hablan español, yo sí. Así que vamos ahorita a pararlos un minutico. Vamos a hacer el himno nacional y ya vamos a comenzar con este juego de clase 5A, el campeonato del estado de la Florida. Ya estamos listos. We're ready to play some ball here in Fort Myers. We're going to cut off our feed, our video feed, and we're going to go to audio only. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Pull up a chair for this final championship game in Class 5A from Fort Myers, Hammond Stadium. Uncle Muggs bringing you the play-by-play. You're stuck with me from now on. You get to see my ugly face and hear my voice. I'll try to make it as pleasant as I can. I want to thank everybody once again for joining us. I know there's a lot of friends of ours that are listening in Miami and that whole Dayton Broward area, so I want to give a shout-out to my boy Jesse over at Beleng, Chris Leon over at Killian. I know you guys are always watching, and thanks for the support. And hopefully we'll bring home a ring, the Matter Academy Lions. There's no doubt who I'm going for, guys. I'm going for those Lions. So we're going to bring up the scoreboard here in a minute. We have Alfred Rosario taking his warm-up pitches there on the mound right now. And the Matter Academy Lions, boy, they're wearing the black, and it's hot out here, and they're wearing the black uniforms. And the Wesley Chapel Wildcats, they're wearing the white pants with the light blue tops. And they're coming up to bat first. So we're going to see Pabon, Hartley, and Wright. And those are some big boppers for them. Pabon has 10 stolen bases, so we got to watch out with him on the bases. But behind the plate is Jacob Amador. Playing first base is Brian Arrieta. There's Aker Noguera. He's the spark plug here, and he had to be almost carried off the field on Thursday. The trainers went out to attend to him several times. There's Brandon Lorenzo, and he's been the second half hero here for this ball club. He's really picked them up defensively and offensively. And in left field, taking over for Esponda today is the senior Jody La Rosa. And the junior, another spark plug here, is Dylan Fernandez, and he's the center fielder. And I'm about to cut to audio only because I cannot do the live feed. So we're going to come back. Let me go over that defense again because I didn't give you the video defense. So Amador's behind the plate. There's Rosario, Noguera, and Lorenzo. Here comes Yodelkis, and we're going. So we have Dylan Fernandez coming up to the box right now. And we'll turn on the scoreboard for you. We'll tell you we're with the FHSAA. Wesley Chapel is coming up to bat first. Right-handed batter stepping in. His name's Dylan Pavon. He's the second baseman. Just so you don't forget, Uncle Muggs bringing you the play-by-play, and we're about to get started with the very first pitch of the final Class 5A game. And it is a called strike down the middle. Good way to start this one. I expect a good one here, a tight game. Second pitch from Rosario's called strike. That's a great way to start things off for the Mater Academy Lions that are without their left fielder today. Thanks for joining us, everybody. And that one's up and away. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes on the right-handed batting second baseman. Nolan Hartley, the shortstop, is on deck. Here's Rosario's 1-2. And it's in the dirt. Nice block by Amador. The count goes even to 2-2. Like I said, the Mater Academy Lions are wearing, they're all black. Boy, that's a nice look. They got that white stripe coming down the side of the leg. And here's the 2-2 from Rosario. And it short hops Amador to fill up the count at 3-2. He must have lost a grip or something on that one because that was a 50-foot curveball. Uncle Muggs bringing you the play-by-play, 11 o'clock start on a warm day. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swung on and ground to the left side on 2 bounces. Quevedo picks it up. He fires across to Arrieta for the first out of the inning. And Pabon grounds out, and that leaves Hartley to come up to bat for the Wildcats. In this here, the top of the first inning. Zoe Wright is on deck, and he's the third batter for these Wildcats. And Rosario right away doesn't waste any time, and Hartley doesn't waste any time, and he pokes one into right field for a solid, clean base hit to the right side. First pitch swinging. So runner on first base now with 1 out for Zor Wright. And Wright is a left-handed batter. He'll be facing the right-handed pitching Rosario. Alfred was the pitcher of the month in February. He had 29 strikeouts in 1 month, a shortened month. February is the first month of the season. Now with a runner on first and 1 out, Rosario's from the stretch. He comes set and he throws one over for a ball taken by Zor Wright. Cole Ranchel, the catcher, is on deck. And it's a warm one here in Fort Myers. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and fouled out of play to even the count at 1-1. Maybe about 100 fans made the trip for Wesley Chapel. You can see the baby blue, the North Carolina blue, all over the place. It's a nice look, nice baseball look. And there goes the runner. Hartley goes. The ball's in the dirt. No throw from Amador. The Wildcats are going to have a runner in scoring position, and the count went to 2-1 here on Zor Wright. Three umpires here today. Huge outfield. The left-handed hitting Wright steps in. Rosario takes a peek at Hartley at second base. Now he comes back, takes another look at him. Finally, he kicks and deals, and that one's slap fouled. The count will go even. Defensively, Dylan Fernandez in center field for the Lions is shaded over a little bit. There's a big gap in left center. Double play combination. Up the middle is Noguera and Lorenzo. On Thursday's game, Brandon Lorenzo turned in 3 or 4 spectacular defensive plays to keep his Lions in the game, not only in the game, but to come from behind and beat Fort Myers 8-5. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and that one's hit hard to the left side, and it gets past the diving Noguera into right field. Wesley Chapel's runner gets held up at third base. A strong throw by Fernandez is cut off, and they'll have the runners in the corners for the Wildcats with 1 out, and their fourth batter coming up. Good idea to stop that runner. That was a good, strong throw by Fernandez in right field. So back-to-back hits. And, you know, the way that things have been going for the Matter Academy Lions, it's okay if the visiting team gets off to a little bit of a lead. In fact, they kind of like that. They've had about 6 come-from-behind victories. Thursday's game was no different. They were down 5-0. They came back and won 8-5. So we're not worried. I mean, the Matter Academy Lions aren't worried. If they fall behind just a little bit, they know they're a machine. They can come back. And let's see if Wright takes off on this pitch, and there he goes. No throw, throws through to Amador. Runner stays on third. So the runners are going to advance to second and third base with 1 out. The pitch was called a ball. Rancho's batting from the right side. This Wesley Chapel team, they beat Lincoln 7-2, and Lincoln was the number 1 ranked team. They beat them in the semis, and here's the 1-0, and that one's lifted high to the infield. Lorenzo's calling for it. If it ever comes down, it'll be a second out of the inning, and there it is, 2 outs. And that was a big out there. That's going to bring up the 5th batter for the Wildcats. It's Jojo Guevara. He's also a right-handed batter, wearing number 11. He steps in to face Rosario. Rosario, the senior right-hander. He wasn't shy in his preseason interview. He said that they were going to come to the state championship. And he was right. Here they are. Here are the Matter Academy Lions. They're in the final game. First pitch swinging, and that's foul to the right side for strike 1. To the 5th batter, Jojo Guevara. Aiden Nguyen is on deck. He's the DH. And with 2 outs, Rosario doesn't want to face him. Hartley on third. Wright's on second. That ball's in the dirt. An excellent stop by Jacob Amador behind the plate to stop that one and to prevent a run from scoring. So chalk that one down as an excellent play for Amador, the catcher. No score, top of the first inning. Uncle Muggs from Fort Myers. Here's the 1-1. And there's a strike right down the middle of the plate. Fastball, too. And that had some zip on it. 2 consecutive hits. A fly ball. And that's where we are right now. Runners on second and third base for the visiting Wildcats. Jojo Guevara facing Rosario. Swing and a miss and a big strike 3 for Rosario. And the Lions head into the dugout to swing the bats. The Chapel Wildcats are going to leave 2 on the bases. They get none. We head to the bottom of the first inning in a scoreless game. You're listening to FSPN today. And we'll be right back.
South Florida high school baseball fans, this one's for you. Every Sunday at 6 a.m., grab your coffee and get ready for the most entertaining, informative, and downright hilarious recap of the week in high school baseball. Hosted by Anthony Chappie Castillo and Brian Uncle Muggs Gonzalez, this show covers all the action from the past week. Big hits, game-saving plays, standout moments, and more. Check out the Player Spotlight, where we sit down with some of South Florida's top talent and get to know the stars behind the stats. Then swing by the Coach's Corner, where we interview local head coaches and dive into their strategy, leadership, and the heart of the game. And don't miss your chance to be part of the show. We feature fan interaction via Instagram, so send us your hot takes, questions, and shout-outs. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay in the loop and help us grow this incredible baseball community. Every play, every player, every Sunday. This is the South Florida High School Baseball Recap Show. Don't miss it.
All right, welcome back to Fort Myers, everyone. Uncle Muggs here from Hammond Stadium for the Class 5A FHSAA final game between the Wesley Chapel Wildcats, that are the visiting team on the scoreboard, and the home team, the Matter Academy Lions. The Lions just got out of a jam with runners on second and third base. And let's go over this defense real quick. For the light blue shirt wearing Wesley Chapel Wildcats, playing left field, it's Jacob Christensen. Bryce Fleming is in center field. Connor Franklin is in right field. Jojo Guevara is playing third. Nolan Hartley is the shortstop. Dylan Pavone is playing second base. Zort Wright is the first baseman. Cole Rancho is behind the plate, and Chase Fleming is on deck and leading things off for the Matter Academy Lions here in the bottom of the first inning with no score. It's the second baseman, the spark plug of this team. He scored over 40 runs this season. It's Iker Noguera. He takes the first pitch from Fleming outside and high for ball one. Fleming takes his time and he kicks and throws that one over for a low strike on the outside corner and evens the count at 1-1. The Matter Academy Lions are playing without their star left fielder, Jonathan Esponda, today, and their ball swung on and roped up the middle by the rookie. Noguera gets on base, and if I had a stat on what the winning percentage is for Matter Academy when Noguera gets on base, I'm sure it's over 900. He's a spark plug. He's the catalyst for this team. He's the emotional leader on this team, and he's standing on first base with a leadoff base hit. And that brings up the center fielder, Dylan Fernandez. And you talk about a gamer. In the regional final game against Varela, he was suffering a stomach virus, and not a lot of people knew that. But he would bend over in center field and let go of some fluids out there. He had a bloody nose, but he made an excellent catch in that game. And Fernandez steps in from the right side, wearing number 52, to face Fleming from the stretch with Noguera on first. And that one's hard hit to right field. Right fielder came in a few steps, but Franklin came back and made the catch. A well-hit ball to right field on a line for the first out of the inning. So base hit by Noguera. A line out to right field by Dylan Fernandez, and now it's going to bring up the junior third baseman, number 99, Yodelkis Quevedo, and he's a specimen. He's all of 6'2", 225. He looks like a NFL linebacker, and he's going to face Fleming. A tall, lanky Fleming from the right side. He pitches right-handed. He's coming from the stretch. Kicks and deals. There goes Noguera. We had a hit and run going on there. Bencomo getting aggressive early, and that one's fouled off to the right side. But definitely a hit and run was on. Fleming comes set. He throws over to first base. Noguera gets back in plenty of time. I can't get over how beautiful these Wesley Chapel uniforms are. And some of them have light blue gloves to match the North Carolina blue uniforms. Fleming's pitch is hit, and the second baseman was covering. Pabon was covering the steal. He got him out of position, and Quevedo hit a line drive right where he wasn't. He came over to cover the bag. And patient, good hitting by Quevedo. He pops the ball right where the second baseman was. And now the Matter Academy Lions have runners on first and third with one out for the red-hot Brian Arrieta. He had a double in Thursday's game. Good to see Quevedo staying patient, shortening the swing up a little bit, not going for the fences as much. Tenemos hombres de corredores en primera y tercera base para los Leones de Matter Academy. Estamos en la parte de abajo del segundo inning de Fort Myers. Al bate es el cuarto bate, la primera base Brian Arrieta. Iker Noguera, que empezó con un hit, está en tercera base. Yodelkis Quevedo también tiene un hit y está en primera base. Hay un out en un día caloroso en Fort Myers. First pitch was a ball to Brian Arrieta. Brandon Lorenzo, the red-hot Brandon Lorenzo, is on deck. And there goes Quevedo on a delayed steal. The ball's taken for a strike. The Lions have two runners now in scoring position with one out in the bottom of the first inning in a scoreless game against Wesley Chapel. Corredores en segunda y tercera base. Fleming levanta la pierna, tira y un foul ball. El conteo va a una bola y dos strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Brian Arrieta. Right field is playing extremely deep. Connor Franklin's way out there. They're playing pretty much straight away. Bryce Fleming in center field is not that deep, but Jacob Christensen, I could barely see him. And there's a hard hit ball to the shortstop, and it gets under his glove. One run is going to score. Here comes Yodelquis Quevedo with the second run. Arrieta is going to hustle into second base, and he's going to be safe. He's going to get the second on the throw, but the Mater Academy Lions are on the scoreboard first with 2 runs with a 2 RBI base hit from their first baseman, Brian Arrieta. Woo! That'll bring up Brandon Lorenzo and the cheer from the crowd. And it's no surprise, but Lorenzo's a fan favorite, and he's been red hot lately. He hit a grand slam home run, or a grand slam, in the final game against Varela. And he steps in from the right side to face Chase Fleming. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it off the catcher, Cole Ranchel. And he takes a minute to shake it off. Boy, that hurt. Still only 1 out. Now it's a 2-0 game in favor of the Mater Academy Lions. They're the home team. Runner on second base is Brian Arrieta. I can hear Humberto Bencomo barking out some calls from here. He squares the bunt. He lays down a beauty. Oh, it just trickles foul. Had enough English on it to hit the grass, and well, it looked like one of my chips. No brakes. Just rolled right past the hole. We're going to do that all over again, this time with 2 strikes and no balls. With a runner on second base, the Mater Academy Lions are on the board first. And if that old additive goes, score first, win first, we should just pack it up and go home right now and give me the ring. And we have 6 more to play, 18 more outs. Now they're taking a look at Brandon Lorenzo. And Belo's getting some Gatorade, and the athletic trainer, Kathy Williams, has come out to take a look at Lorenzo. And he might have, hurt himself running down the line on that bunt that went foul. And they're really looking at really looking at anything. They're just, Lorenzo did have a strained hamstring in the beginning of the season. He sat out for an entire month. All right, so Lorenzo's getting back in the box. Here's Fleming. He looks at Arrieta. Now he comes to the plate, swung on and missed, and strike 3. Lorenzo goes down. It looks like he's walking fine. So the pitcher DH steps into the box. It's Alfred Rosario. He has a chance to help his own cause. His team has given him a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the second inning. Arrieta's on second base. He's not a burner. The outfield is playing deep for Rosario. A lot of room out here. First pitch swinging. That goes foul to the right side. Fleming's taking his time. Now Rosario calls time. Fleming's looking into those catchers. He's shaking them off a couple times. Now he takes a set, and he looks at Arrieta at second base. A long look at Arrieta. Another look at Arrieta. He finally comes home, and that one's outside, taken for a strike on the outside corner. Count goes to 0-2. And that ball's hit high and deep in the gap. Both Fleming and Christensen are fighting for it. Fleming dives. Arrieta's going to score the 3rd run. We're going to have a 3-0 game, and that was a double from Rosario. And the Lions are getting on the board with a field goal. That's going to bring up the big lefty, the right fielder today, Brian Fernandez. He'll be followed by Howdy La Rosa. Fernandez, a big boy, all of 6'2", 225. Huge outfield for these Lions. When Esponda's in there, they all average 6'2" and about 225. Fernandez batting from the left side with Rosario with good speed on second base. He swings at the first pitch, fouls it straight back. 3-0 in the bottom of the first inning, and it's just what the doctor ordered. Especially when you have your second batter out of the lineup, your starting left fielder, Dade County leader in doubles. That pitch is taken low. One and one now, the count to Fernandez. Fleming kicks and deals, and that one's hit solid into center field. Fleming goes back, and he gets a beat on it, and he catches that one for the third out. The Mater Academy Lions leave one runner on base, but they scored 3. And we head to the top of the second inning from Hammond Stadium here in the FHSAA Class 5A final game with a score of 3-0. We'll be right back right after this. And welcome back, everyone, to FSPN's coverage of the FHSAA Class 5A final game here from Fort Myers. We have a 3-0 game. We're coming into the top of the second inning. And coming up to bat is number 17, Aiden Nguyen. He'll be followed by Connor Franklin, and that'll be Jacob Christensen. And they're going to face the crafty right-handed veteran, Alfred Rosario. Bring up the scoreboard. Top of the second inning. Uncle Muggs from the FHSAA State Championships. Rosario from the windup. His first pitch is in there for a strike called. Good call there by the Blues, being very consistent. Beautiful day here in Fort Myers. It's hot. I mean, it's 90-something hot. There's one in the same spot. Count goes 0-2 to the DH, Aiden Nguyen. Wow, high and tight. Boy, that was an easy take for Nguyen when that one's up around your chin. Nguyen, the left-handed batter. He'll be followed by Connor Franklin. Rosario, big strikeout guy. Takes his time. Now he kicks and deals. That one's a little low and away. The count goes even to 2-2. He told me before the game that he doesn't like to waste any bullets. He likes to go right after hitters, get ahead in the count. Here's the 2-2. Croquetica right there, strike 3. Caserita, those Wesley Chapel guys, I don't think they've ever tried these Dominican croquetas. They're delicious. And Aiden Nguyen just ate one right now. Ask Jojo Guevara, he ate one as well. It's going to bring up the bat the right-handed hitting right fielder for Wesley Chapel, Connor Franklin, to face the Dominican dandy, Alfred Rosario, with one out, the top of the second, 3-0 game. Wow, that didn't miss by much. Ball one on the first pitch. Rosario digs his face into the glove. You can almost just see his eyes over the top of his glove as he kicks and deals, and swung on and missed by Connor Franklin. Evens the count at 1-1. We're in the shade, and it's hot. I can imagine on that field. That must be brutal. Rosario kicks and takes a check swing. They check with the first base umpire, and he says no, he didn't swing. And the count goes 2 balls and 1 strike to the batter, Connor Franklin. Rosario gets his face out of his glove, and he kicks and deals a check swing there, boy, and Amador held on to that one as to saying, Blue, where is that one? You know, these little body language messages that the catcher gives the umpire. The ball, it goes 3-1. You know, he holds the mitt right there for a second or so, and that one's in the dirt. So with one out, the Wildcats are going to have a runner on first base for their left fielder, Jacob Christensen. Amador flashing the signals to his infield. Quevedo's at third. Lorenzo's the shortstop. Noguera's playing second base. And Arrieta's holding on Franklin at first base. Your outfield from right to left is Brian Fernandez, Dylan Fernandez, and Heury La Rosa is making the start for Jonathan Esponda in left field. Here comes Rosario. He kicks and deals. That one's up high for a ball. One out in a 3-0 game, top of the second inning. Rosario comes set. He's from the stretch. He's facing the right-handed batter. Throws that one over, and again, Amador holds the mitt out there like saying, Blue, where was that one? 2 balls and no strikes. Uncle Muggs here in the booth. Having a good time. Been to a lot of ball games. I saw Joey Wardlow's St. Thomas Aquinas Raiders put a whooping on, and there's a hard hit single up the middle by Christensen. Dylan Fernandez throws it in, and the Wesley Chapel Wildcats are going to have runners on first and second base with one out for the last batter, Bryce Fleming. On deck is the leadoff batter, Dylan Pabon, and they're going to face Rosario, and he's got to pitch himself out of this jam. Runners on first and second base, one out, 3-0 game. Squares the bunt, and he fouls it off the screen. Quick strike there to Fleming, and that's not a bad idea from head coach Trip Merrill of the Wesley Chapel Wildcats to bunt him over here and then take your chances with 2 runners in scoring position for your leadoff batter with 2 outs. I mean, that's not a bad strategy there. Noguera's holding on the runner. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed. Quickly, 2 strikes, and Rosario needs a big strikeout here. I mean, he needs to buckle down here and get 2 outs. Infield's playing back, a little bit shaded over to the left side. Rosario takes his time. He finally throws. That one catches the outside corner for strike 3. And now there's 2 outs for the leadoff batter. Another croquetica there. It's going to bring up the leadoff batter, Dylan Pavon. He grounded to third base his first time up. He's a right-handed batter. wearing some green spikes. Doesn't even match with the light blue. We got to talk to his fashion guy. Here's the pitch from Rosario. It's taken for a ball inside. Rosario from the stretch. Wildcats on first and second base here in a Class 5A final game from Hammond Stadium in Fort Myers. Here's the pitch, taken for a strike. Count goes even at 1-1 with 2 outs in the top of the second. Rosario takes his time. Noguera gets back into position. That one's fouled straight back. We'll do the count will go 1-2. Rosario and Amador going over the signs here. Takes a peek at the runner on second base, Franklin. That one's low and inside for a ball. Evens the count at 2-2. Two outs here in the top of the second inning in a 3-0 ball game. Rosario needs a strikeout here. And he gets one on the inside corner. Another croquetica, this time to the leadoff batter. That's 4 on the game. We head to the bottom of the second inning. The Wildcats leave 2. They get none. Rosario pitches his way out of a jam. And we're heading to the bottom of the second inning here from Fort Myers. And it's 3-0 in favor of the Lions. And welcome back to Fort Myers, to Hammond Stadium for the Class 5A FHSAA final game between the Wildcats of Wesley Chapel and the Matter Academy Lions. Uncle Muggs here bringing you the play-by-play. Hey, there's no doubt who I'm going for. Miami, my Miami Matter guys. Bueno, Hialeah Gardens, whatever you want to call it. Estamos ganando 3-0, caballero, en un calor aquí en Fort Myers espantoso. Pero han podido poner 3 carreras. Estamos no cómodos, pero estamos mejor que ayer, que estábamos perdiendo. Pero como a este equipito le gusta ganar cuando está perdiendo, no es nada nuevo. Pero esto sí es nuevo cuando están ganando. Mira, ahora va a batear Heuri La Rosa, que es el left field. Heuri La Rosa is the left fielder. We come to the bottom of the second inning, and the first pitch is a strike to La Rosa. Fleming still on the mound. 1-1 the count. He's from the full windup. Swinging a big swing and a miss there by La Rosa. He wanted to put that one back in Okeechobee Road with that swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fleming gets his sign, and that one's up high. It evens the count at 2-2. Fleming from the full windup, and again, he puts his face in his glove as well. That one's just outside. The count goes full to La Rosa. I guess that's a common thing now, to put your face in the glove before you let it go. And that's ball 4. Put your face wherever you want. We got the first base runner on. The leadoff man is on here in the bottom of the second inning. 3-0 game. It's going to bring up the 9th batter, Jacob Amador, to face Fleming. La Rosa's being held on by Zor Wright on first base. The double play combination for the Wildcats are Dylan Pavon and Nolan Hartley. In on the grass at third base is Jojo Guevara. Behind the plate is Cole Ranchel, and your batter's Jacob Amador. Amador squares the bunt. He takes that one low for a ball. Well, we've got a couple clouds now. The sun is starting to hide behind them a little bit. But since Wednesday, it's been nothing but blue skies here in Fort Myers. Here's the pitch from Fleming. It's taken for a strike on the outside corner. Fleming, a tall, lanky, right-handed pitcher. He's from the stretch right now, the full stretch. Takes a peek at La Rosa, and Amador lays one down right in front of home plate. Only one way to go for the catcher, and that's the first base. And nobody's on third, and a tremendous heads-up play by Hildy La Rosa. Boy, that was textbook. Third baseman came in. Guevara didn't turn around and go back to third. And La Rosa goes from first to third on a bunt. And that's some good coaching, some high IQ baseball right there from Hildy La Rosa. Miami-Dade commit. He'll be there next year, along with Albert Bell, one of my favorites from Southwest. He'll be playing at Miami-Dade. So the Sharks are going to have themselves one heck of a team. So with a runner on third base, the leadoff batter comes up. It's Iker Noguera to face Fleming in a 3-0 game in the bottom of the second. First pitch is taken low for a ball. Tremendous bunt by Amador. He's been really contributing to this team. He went 2 for 3 in Thursday's game. He had an RBI. He had a base on balls. I think he went 2 for 2. And he was on base all 3 times. Noguera led off the game with a solid base hit. The count on him now is 1-1 with 1 out. And La Rosa on third base. JoJo's creeping in at third. And that one swung on, hit to the right side, and in the hole of the drawn-in infield for carrera número 4 para los Leones de Matter Academy. Anotaron la 4ª carrera. Hildy La Rosa abrió el inning lo caminaron, una base por bola. Después un toque fenomenal para Jacob Amador. La tercera base de los Wesley Chapo estaba durmiendo y La Rosa llegó hasta tercera base. Y ahora entró con un hit de Iker Noguera. Y la cosa te está poniendo buena aquí en favor de los Matter Academy Lions, porque viene el caballo. Dylan Fernández, el center field, viene a batear con Noguera en primera base. Y cuidado que no se robe la base. Ya van 2 veces seguidos que está envasado Noguera. Y como Noguera va, van los Leones. How Noguera goes, the Lions go. If he gets on base, he steals bases, he's creating havoc, these Lions are going to win games. And he's been on base twice. He already scored 1 run. The count goes 1-1 to Dylan Fernandez, the center fielder. We're in the bottom of the second. There's 1 out, and it's a 4-0 game in favor of the Matter Academy Lions. Fleming steps off the mound to gather himself. He takes a deep breath. The lanky right-hander takes a peek at his catcher, Cole Ranchel, and finally comes set. Noguera's creeping off, and there he goes. Here's the throw from Ranchel, and it's not in time. Oh, it is in time. Wow. 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 All right, they cut down the runner. The pitch was a ball. That ball short-hopped the shortstop. But apparently he was able to pick it up and swipe behind him and get the speedy Noguera for the second out of the inning. There's a strike taken by Dylan Fernandez. Evens the count at 2-2 with 2 out here now in the bottom of the second inning. The Lions did score a run. They've scored in the first 2 innings, 3 in the first, 1 now in the bottom of the second. Here's the pitch from Fleming. Low and away. The count will go full to the center fielder, Dylan Fernandez, with nobody on and 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed for strike 3. The Lions leave none. They get none. We head to the top of the third inning with your score 4-0 from Fort Myers. You're watching the Class 5A FHSAA Championship game, and you're listening to FSPN. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a good one. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back to Fort Myers, to Hammond Stadium for the FHSAA Class 5A Regional Final game between the Wesley Chapel Wildcats and the home team on the scoreboard, the Mater Academy Lions. It's 4-0. We're heading to the top of the third inning. It's been a really good game for the Lions so far. Alfred Rosario's been the story here. He has 4 croqueticas. That's 4 strikeouts. For those of you who don't know what a croqueta is, and the Spanish guys out here, we call strikeouts croquetas. So from time to time, you'll hear me say croquetas. Mis oyentes en español. Estamos entrando la parte de arriba del tercer inning, la entrada del tercer inning. Wesley Chapel está al bate. Los Lions de Mater Academy están ganando 4-0. El segundo bate de los Wildcats está bateando. Nolan Hartley, the second batter, steps in. He's the shortstop for these Wildcats. Let me bring up the scoreboard here. That one's lifted, and it's deep to left field. LaRosa goes back. It's over his head. It's all the way to the warning track. Hartley's going to have a triple for sure. Here comes the cutoff from Brandon, and he's in there with the leadoff triple. Wow, he really hit that a ton. Boy, that went all the way to left field, top of the third. Runner on third base in a 4-0 game, and that's exactly what Wesley Chapel needs in order to chip away and get back into this ball game. Zori Wright steps in, and Wright leads this team in home runs with 3. He's batting from the left side with a runner on third base and nobody out at the top of the third inning. Rosario from the stretch, he kicks and deals, and that one's fouled straight back. Zori Wright was all over that pitch. Didn't fool him at all. He just missed that one. Hartley with a bomb to left field. Would have been close to being out in any field in Dade County, but here we're playing in a graveyard in Hammond Stadium. That one's up and in for ball 1. Count goes even at 1-1 with nobody out, and runner on third base for Wesley Chapel. That actually got a piece of Zori's arm, so he's making his way down to first base. So the Wildcats of Wesley Chapel will have runners in the corner with nobody out for their fourth batter, the catcher, Cole Ranchel. Ranchel steps in. Let's see what the defense is. Jacob Amador standing on home plate, and he's going over the defensive signals. Aker Noguera has just come in and talked to Rosario, the pitcher for the Lions, the right-hander, the senior. Double play combination is Noguera and Lorenzo, and I'm sure that Coach Bencomo will give up a run here gladly to get 2 outs. The speedy Wright is on first base. He's being held on by Brian Arrieta. Rosario comes set. Wright stays on first. The ball's called a strike. The pitch is called a strike. and it's 0-1 to the catcher. Runners in the corners for the Wildcats. Throw over to first, not in time. 4-0, top of the third. Rosario gets his sign from Amador. Now he comes set at the waist, kicks and deals, and that one's lifted to the right side. There might be some room, but it stays in the ballpark, but there's just so much room here at Hammond Stadium. Brian Fernandez could have had a jetpack, and he wouldn't have gotten to that ball. Nevertheless, it's a big strike, and the count goes 0-2 to the fourth batter, Cole Ranchel. The third baseman, Jojo Guevara, is standing on deck. Ranchel flew out to Lorenzo at shortstop. Hit a big pop fly to the infield this last time up. Rosario looking for a strikeout here. And that one's lifted to the right side. And that one's coming in. Boy, and it gets between Fernandez and Noguera. The Wildcats are going to score their first run of the game on a little blooper to right field. Boy, that was hit off the end of the bat. And the Wildcats are going to have runners on first and second in a 1-0 ball game, a 4-1 ball game, I'm sorry. Hartley comes around to score. He's going to bring up Guevara with nobody out. Guevara goes over to talk to Trip Merrill up the line at third base. And Arrieta and Jacob Amador for the Lions come out to talk to Rosario. They're going over the defense here. Well, that ball was hit to right field. It stood in the air forever. First, I thought Noguera, who had his back turned to us, was going to catch the ball a la Jim Edmonds. And then Fernandez faked like he was going to catch it, and that ball just dropped between them both. The corners are in for the Lions. 4-1 game, top of the third. Rosario's pitch is not a strike, even though it was, wow. Okay, that's how it's going to be. Ball one. 4-1, 5 hits apiece for Chappell and Matter. And that one smoked in the left center field. La Rosa comes in. He leaves his feet in a diving play. He has a chance to double him up, and he does at second. Watch out he don't get a triple play. Zor Wright had come off the bag. An outstanding play in left field by Hildy La Rosa, who came in for Jonathan Esponda, who was suspended for this game for being ejected from Thursday's game. And that paid off. What a move. La Rosa left his feet completely. I think it was a hit and run because Zoe Wright was almost on third base. So all La Rosa had to do was get on his feet and throw the ball to second base, and there's 2 outs. And here comes a coach, Tito Rodriguez, and he's going to come out and talk to the entire infield. I mean, everybody's out there. Yodeki's, Brandon, Aker, Brian's out there, Amador, and, of course, Rosario. And they're talking about this. Boy, and that was a big out right there, a big double play. So 2 outs. Runner on first base, top of the third inning, 4-1. Wesley Chappell. Wow, they had a chance there to get back in this game. But a spectacular catch from the left fielder. Let me see if I can get some airtime here. Hey, folks, Uncle Muggs from Fort Myers. A mound visit from Tito Rodriguez. A very exciting game. We've had some good games out here. The Lincoln Wesley Chappell game yesterday, Thursday, was very good. It was 7-2. Great game there. And we had a good game. Matter Academy had a good one against a local team, Fort Myers. All right, let's get back to the action here. Runner on first base, the left-handed batting Jojo Guevara steps in. I'm sorry, Aiden Gwynn steps in. With 2 outs, 4-1. Top of the third. Gwynn is the DH. He's a left-handed batter. Arrieta's playing behind the runner at first base. They're giving him second base. If he wants to try to run on Amador, the pitch is high for a ball, and the count goes 2-0 with 2 outs. A ground out or a strikeout will be huge here for the Lions. Rosario comes set. He gets his sign way outside. Not even close. Count goes 3-0. Whatever Tito Rodriguez told him didn't work. Usually when the coach goes out there for a mound visit, it sets them straight. They're going over some defense, maybe some mechanics. But right now it's 3-0 to the DH. That's an easy take for ball 4. Boy, now things have gotten complicated with 2 outs. Wesley Chapel has runners on first and second base for their right fielder, Connor Franklin. Rancho's on second base with a courtesy runner for Rancho's on second base. He's the catcher. Here's the first pitch. Swung on and fouled straight back by Franklin. So strike 1, 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Rosario takes a peek at the runner on second. Now he kicks and he comes to Franklin. And that one gets away from Amador, but just enough away that the runners advance to second and to third base. The pitch is a ball. The count is 1-1 with 2 strikes. And I wouldn't say the wheels are coming off here, but I'm hearing some rattling coming from the right side here. And if this were NASCAR, I would definitely take it into the pits to have the crew look at it, see what's going on, maybe some alignment problems. Let's see if Rosario can work his way out of this. There's a hard hit ground ball to Lorenzo at shortstop. He picks it up, fires over to Arrieta for the third out of the inning. The Chapel Wildcats are going to leave 2, but they get 1. We head to the bottom of the third in a 4-1 game from Hammond Stadium, and you're listening to FSPN on the FHSAA Championships, the Class 5A final. We'll be right back right after this.
South Florida high school baseball fans, this one's for you. Every Sunday at 6 a.m., grab your coffee and get ready for the most entertaining, informative, and downright hilarious recap of the week in high school baseball. Hosted by Anthony Chappie Castillo and Brian Uncle Muggs Gonzalez, this show covers all the action from the past week. Big hits, game-saving plays, standout moments, and more. Check out the Player Spotlight, where we sit down with some of South Florida's top talent and get to know the stars behind the stats. Then swing by the Coach's Corner, where we interview local head coaches and dive into their strategy, leadership, and the heart of the game. And don't miss your chance to be part of the show. We feature fan interaction via Instagram, so send us your hot takes, questions, and shout-outs. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay in the loop and help us grow this incredible baseball community. Every play, every player, every Sunday. This is the South Florida High School Baseball Recap Show. Don't miss it.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the bottom of the third inning. A couple shout-outs. I want to shout out to my partner, Chappie. He's listening out there. Anthony Castillo, First Pitch Baseball. If you're a junior, if you're a sophomore, you want to get into a college, this is the guy you want to talk to. Anthony Chappie Castillo. Look him up, First Pitch Baseball. In the box right now for the Matter Academy Lions, it's Yodelkis Quevedo, and he's going to face Fleming. First pitch inside for a strike. Let me change that. Bottom of the third. Strike. And we've got a hot one here today at Fort Myers, and that one's hit high and deep, but Fleming was playing away in Key West. He catches that one, even though it was well hit into center field. But he was playing way out there. It was an easy out for him. A hard hit ball by Quevedo. And that's a good sign. You want Quevedo hitting balls hard. Arrieta steps in to face Fleming in a 4-1 game. Bottom of the third inning. The Matter Academy Lions broke out to a 3-run first. Then they got 1. Chapel got 1 in their top half of the third, and here we are in the bottom of the third inning. The first pitch is a strike to Arrieta. And there's another one. Boy, that one caught the outside corner. Wesley Chapel, they beat Lincoln, the number 1 seed, to get to this final. And there's a ball outside to Arrieta. He's a left-handed hitter. He had a home run against Cohia at FIU, so he's no stranger to hitting him out of big ballparks. And he hits that one foul to the left side. We'll do the 1-2 all over again. Yeah, that was a great come-from-behind victory for the Lions against Kohia at FIU. That one's hit, foul, just foul again. And you can keep the souvenirs, so if you guys want to come out here to Fort Myers, it's worth the trip. This stadium is incredible. It's beautiful. It's exactly what you want in a minor league stadium. Another foul ball to the same spot for Arrieta. And those kids over there are having a great time. They don't have to move, and they get free baseballs. Here's the 1-2 again. Wow, an off-speed pitch. That almost looked like an EFS pitch. That looked like Dave LaRoche, LaLob almost. Count goes even 2-2 with one out here, and that one's skied to center field. Fleming has to come in a long way, but it's Christensen. Oh, it's Fleming finally making the play. It was over there in that triangle between shortstop, left, and center. And the center fielder took over that one for the second out of the inning. Nobody on base. Red hot Brandon Lorenzo. He struck out his first time up. He had to be attended to. The athletic trainer Kathy Williams from Hatter Academy had to come out, give him some Gatorade. He hit a bunt that went foul, and I wasn't looking at him. I was looking at the ball, so I don't know if he came up hurting, but first pitch swinging there, he fouls one straight back. Lorenzo, a right-handed batter. He's a Florida commit. This is the first game of 3 today. After this, we're going to have the Class 6A championship. So Joey Wardle will have a chance to put a ring on. That one's hard hit, but foul on the ground. And in Class 7A, Todd Fitzgerald is going to go for his 5th title. And that's going to be I think the 7 o'clock game. I think today we only have 11-4 and 7 or 11-3 and 7. Usually every other day there's 4 games here in Fort Myers. Great place to come and watch a ball game. I mean, they have shaded terraces everywhere. It's nice and breezy. Here's the 0-2 to Lorenzo. And that's outside for a ball. The count goes 1-2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning in a 4-1 game. And there's a strike to be called. That's a second strikeout for Lorenzo. We head to the top of the 4th inning, and your score is 4-1 from Hammond Stadium. You're watching the Class 5A FHSAA final game, and you're listening to it on FSPN. Thanks for listening, everyone. Welcome back, high school baseball fans, to Fort Myers, the FHSAA Championship, the final game for Class 5A between the Wesley Chapel Wildcats and the home team on the scoreboard, and in our hearts, the Matter Academy Lions, and they're up 4-1. And we're going to face Jacob Christensen comes up to face Rosario in a 4-1 game. Top of the 4th inning. It's a championship game. Let me bring up the scoreboard and one of the logos. That one's quickly slapped to the right side for strike 1, a foul ball. Thanks for listening, everybody. I know my boy Chappie doesn't miss a game. And we also have Bring Joy, and she's watching us from Key West, and thanks for tuning in. There's a ball called inside. Rosario's on the mound. This is his 4th inning of work. That one's hit high to the right side. Noguera's creeping back on it, but Fernandez calls him off in right field, and the lefty makes the grab for the first out of the inning. Brings up the last batter, Bryce Fleming. He's the center fielder. So a big out there. You always want to get the leadoff guy. So Bring Dash Joy, you're tuning in from Key West. I want to thank you very much. Arxtagna Velez, thanks for watching. Willie Brevia, thanks for watching. First pitch to Fleming is fouled back. Thanks for listening. I'm so used to being on the air video-wise that I can't get used to saying that we're listening. We're audio only today. Here's the pitch from Rosario. Swung on and a foul ball to the same side. It's going to be 2 strikes with 1 out. Top of the 4th inning. Uncle Muggs coming to you from Fort Myers. Be here for another 3 days. Can't wait to see the Miami Springs Firebirds. So Roque and you guys, you got a big task ahead of you. But you get past that first game and you can pretty much put a ring on your finger. St. Thomas and Stoneman Douglas play tonight. Here's the 1-1 from Rosario. Swung on and hit hard to left field. It's dropping in front of La Rosa. He tries to dive. He doesn't. He comes up on 1 hop. And Fleming is going to have a base hit with 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning for the Wildcats. That'll bring up the leadoff batter, Dylan Pavone. He struck out and grounded out. Thanks for listening, everyone, for the listening to the live stream. This summer, we're going to follow around the San Diego Padres scout team. That's going to be exciting. Starting off in Jupiter, we have a tournament later this month. And Yodelkis is going to play on that team. So is Isaac Vidal. Boy, that's going to be fun to watch. And I love those uniforms. I like that brown and yellow. So the first pitch is a ball to the leadoff batter, Pabon. He's the second baseman. 1 out, 1 on. Just inside for a ball. Count goes 2-0. With 1 out in the top of the 4th, 4-1 game. You're listening to Uncle Muggs. You're kind of watching me too, but you're not watching the game. Let me know in the text when you get tired of seeing my face, and I'll put the other shot on. There's a strike called. The count goes to 2-1. You guys like this shot better? With all this thing going on. Two balls, 1 strike. A throw over to first base, boy, and they got him. What a pickoff attempt, and they needed that. Cleaned out the bases. Nice move. Fleming was leaning. They got him leaning to one side. And right when he had all his weight on his right foot, Rosario quickly turned to Arrieta. And he wasn't able to get back in time, so he's picked off for the second out of this top of the 4th inning. 4-1 game. The right-handed hitting Dylan Pabon. 2 balls, 1 strike. There's a strike call to even the count at 2-2. So nobody on. Rosario looking for his 5th strikeout of the game, which is on the low end for him. I've seen him get 16. That's right, 16 strikeouts against Florida Christian in a 2-1 game. I think he went 17 innings. He kind of overthrew that one. That had some zip on it, but just outside. Amador was able to reach out and get it, but not close to being a strike. The count goes full now to the leadoff batter, the second baseman Dylan Pavon, with Nolan Hartley on deck for the Wildcats of Wesley Chapel. Payoff pitch, and it's grounded hard in the 5-6 hole. Lorenzo with a great backhanded throw in shallow left field, and he's been doing that all week, but he had no chance of getting the speedy Pavon, so he just held on to it. And with 1 out, the Wildcats will have a runner on first base. Nolan Hartley steps into the box, and Hartley scored the first and only run for these Wildcats with a leadoff triple, and then he got hit in by Ranchel. So he's 2 for 2 today. He's a double and a home run away from the cycle. He's got the hardest part out of the way. He's got a triple. First pitch to him is taken high for a ball. Rosario comes set. Pabon takes his lead. That one's over for a strike. Evens the count at 1-1. Rosario's, you can see some of that beach blonde hair that they tend to do. These players dye their hair on the playoff run, but Rosario's held on to that beach blondness for a couple weeks. He throws that one low and away for a ball. So you could still see some of that blonde hair sticking out of the back of the cap. And it kind of matches because they're wearing black with the yellow outline with the white and the yellow M. Pabon creeps off first, and that one's low. Nice stop by Jacob Amador. Count goes 3-1. 2 outs in a 4-1 game. Rosario doesn't want to lose him here. Nolan Hartley, a good hitter. He's being extra careful with Hartley. And there's one that's hard hit to Dylan Fernandez in center field, but he's got a beat on it. Fernandez makes the 3rd out of the inning. The Wildcats are going to leave one. They get none. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning from Fort Myers, Hammond Stadium. You're listening to FSPN. And the score's 4-1 in favor of Mater Academy. We'll be right back right after this.
South Florida high school baseball fans, this one's for you. Every Sunday at 6 a.m., grab your coffee and get ready for the most entertaining, informative, and downright hilarious.
All right, welcome back to Hammond Stadium here in Fort Myers for the Class 5A FHSAA final game. The winner here gets to put on a ring. And I think I'm a 9.5. Humberto, I want a ring. I swear I won't take it off. All right, leading off is the pitcher, Rosario. He's still going to face Fleming, who's still in there. Chase Fleming, the pitcher. His battery mate is Cole Ranchel. Let's bring up the scoreboard here. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Man, the Lions could use a couple runs here. Rosario, Brian Fernandez, and La Rosa coming up. And we're waiting on Humberto Bencomo, who had left the field for a second. I see Athletic Director Butch Canicero, and these guys are wearing black today. Boy, they must be hot down there. First pitch is down low. One ball, no strikes to Alfred Rosario. He's the pitcher slash DH, and that one's slapped foul. Count, he goes even to 1-1. Good thing about Hammond Stadium, you get to keep the balls as souvenirs. You don't have to throw them back like during the regular season games. So all the kids around here, 10 and under, boy, they're going after these things like piranhas. That pitch is up high by Fleming for ball 2. You wouldn't have a chance of grabbing one of these balls. These kids are so quick. 2-1 now the count. 3-1, pardon me, to Rosario, the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Check swing, too high. First baseman says he didn't go. He's going to take ball 4. Somebody tell him he's got ball 4. Now Rosario knows he's got ball 4. He's heading down to first base. He's probably going to have a courtesy runner for him because he is the pitcher. Let's see how that goes because he's also the DH. He didn't have one the last time up. Fernandez steps up to the plate. The big lefty. He flied out to center field this last time up. And Humberto Bencomo, the head coach, is having a word with the home plate umpire. And it's a lengthy discussion. I mean, they're going, and it's probably because they want to have a pinch runner. Now they're calling in the other 2 umpires. And Uncle Mug's going to say thank you to our sponsors this year. I want to say thanks to Florida State Tentless Termite Treatment. I know the season's over already, but you should call these guys, especially now in the summer. Avoid the hassle of putting a carp or a tent over your house, the inconveniences of having to leave or to go to a hotel or to somebody's house. Get 10% off when you mention this ad. They've been doing this for 25 years. They'll come out and do a monthly or a quarterly treatment on your house, and you can avoid those nasty little insects from tearing apart your house. I guess the discussion is over. Uncle Muggs. Let me put that Matter logo back up. Tamargo's here. A lot of people made their way over Alligator Alley. So the courtesy runner on first base for the pitcher is going to be Ralphie Govin. Yeah, Ralphie has good speed. He's got on that Baker's mitt. Fernandez steps in. Brian Fernandez from the left side. Quickly calls timeout. Fleming tried to quick pitch him there. Y cógelo con tequerísimo. Deja que el tipo llegue a la caja y después piche. ¿Qué es eso? And that one's hit high to the infield. I mean, skied. If it ever comes down, there's a triangle between JoJo, the pitcher, and the catcher, and Fleming comes up with the catch for the first out of the inning. Boy, that was hit high.
Now batting for the Lions, number 29, Jorge
La Rosa steps in. Hildy's the left fielder today. He's stepping in for Jonathan Esponda, who couldn't make the start. He was suspended due to an ejection in Thursday's game. There's a throw back over to first base, but Govin gets back there plenty of time. The tag put on by Zora Wright. Big hole on the right side, so if Hootie wants to go that way. Not sure if that was a ball. Yeah, it was a ball. Home plate umpire was late with that one. Uncle Muggs, want to thank you, all of you, for listening to the broadcast today. And it's free. 1-1 the count with 1 out to La Rosa, the right-handed hitter. And there goes the runner. Here comes the throw from Rancho. It's to the left side, and he's going to get in there without a problem. The pitch was also a ball high. And they're going to come out and take a look at the base because I guess Govin dislodged the base a little bit, but now he's pounding it back in, and we're getting back underway. Fleming takes a look at Govin on second. He comes home. Short hops that one, but it gets past Rancho. Govin's going to make his way down to third base. I believe the count is full. Scoreboard operator doesn't think so. He's having it at 2-2 with 1 out and a runner on third, so I'm going to go with what he has. So 2-2, 1 out, runner on third base. We're in Fort Myers, Hammond Stadium, and that's part of the Lee Sports Complex, Lee County. There's a swing and a foul ball at the plate. And this is a tremendous facility. It's for the Minnesota Twins when they have spring training here. There's about 9 professional fields. I mean, every one of them is 405 to dead center, 330 down the lines. Fleming comes set, and his pitch to La Rosa is way outside. A nice catch there by Rancho. Saved the run. Now the count is full. Both myself and the scoreboard are on the same page. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on it, hit high. This could be a sacrifice fly. Fleming's going way back. He makes the catch at like the 380 mark, and Rafi Govine is going to jog in for the 5th run of the ball game for the Matter Academy Lions. Los Leones anotaron otra carrera, un fly ball sacrificio por Heudi La Rosa. Hay 2 out, pero entró la carrera de Rosario, que le dieron una base por bola. Y después vino a entrar a correr el orgullo de México, Rafi Govine. Y ahora bateando Jacob Amador. Y la primera se la vuelan por encima de la cabeza. So 1 ball, that pitch went over the head of Amador in a 5-1 game in the bottom of the 4th inning. And the Lions have scored in 3 out of the 4 innings. So they're taking it to Chapel. That's low and away. Fleming's starting to look a little tired now. Nobody's warming up at the Wesley Chapel dugout. But boy, it looks hot out there. It's hot in here. Here's Fleming's pitch up high. Count goes 3-0 to the catcher, Jacob Amador. He had a beautiful sacrifice bunt first at bat. Here's the pitch from Fleming. An easy taken ball 4. We're going to see another courtesy runner. Oh boy, I'll tell you, wheels aren't coming off, but here comes Trip Merrill. And Trip's making his way out to the mound to talk to his young pitcher. And we're going to talk to you guys about our sponsor for the season. It was Florida State Tentless Termites. And they did a great job. They supported us the entire season long. Mention this ad and you'll get 10% off. They'll come to your house and they'll put you on a treatment program. And they'll come out every quarter and spray your house. You can avoid putting that tent over your house, avoid the hassles of having to leave your house. And they've been doing this for 25 years. It's nothing new. Give these guys a call. Can't read the number. It's too small, but I think it's 305-669-9292. I want to thank everybody that's watching out there. I know my boy Chappie never misses an episode. We'll bring the leadoff matter on. Aker Noguera, bring him up for the Lions, and he's been on base twice. He scored a run. He had a key double in Thursday's win over Fort Myers. And we're going to keep the runs going here with 2 outs. The Lions could use a rally from their leadoff batter, and that's a nice bunt down the line. He pulled off a 2-out bunt on Thursday, and he got on base, and nobody was expecting it. And Guerrero was way back on the grass. He would have made it in easy, but that ball just trickled foul to the left side. So with a runner on first, strike 1, 2 outs. 5-1 game now, bottom of the 4th inning. Oh, a check swing off the end of the bat. Boy, he didn't want to swing, and that just caught a lace almost. So quickly, 2 strikes. The courtesy runner is Robert Bencosme, and they should just send him. If they catch him, no problem. You got your leadoff batter coming up, and that one swung on and fouled back. So Bencosme was halfway down, 3/4 of the way down to second base, and he's going to have to come back. And he could have stolen that base easily if Eicher didn't swing at that ball. And you can hear the Matter faithful. Hard for me to see them where I'm from my vantage point. Here's the 0-2 to the rookie. There goes Bencosme. A double pump by Ranchel. It's not in time. And they're going to call batter interference. Wow. Okay, they called batter interference. They're going to call the runner out at second base. We're going to head to the top of the 5th inning with your score 5-1 from Fort Myers. And you're watching the Class 5A FHSAA final game. Thanks for listening, everybody. Welcome back, everybody, to FSPN's audio coverage of the Class 5A FHSAA State Final game from Fort Myers Hammond Stadium. It's a 5-1 game. We're heading to the top of the 5th inning, and I'm reading what you guys are saying here on the live chat. So I'm going to keep the camera on me. They say that's the money shot, even with the glasses. And bring joy from Key West. We're also St. Thomas fans. We love Joey Wardlow. We love Key West and that whole vibe down there. We love Coach Enriquez and Ralphie and Andrew, the athletic director for Key West. And, of course, my boys, Randy and what's that other guy's name? All right, we're getting ready to start the top of the 5th inning. So, Jack and Randy, thumbs up. I hope you guys are watching down there in Key West, man. Love you guys. All right, let's bring up the scoreboard. Let's get this one going. Give me a Matter logo there. Pow. First pitch. Strike to the left-handed hitting first baseman. Zori Wright. Where's my pen? Another foul ball there. And quickly, Rosario is ahead. Rosario came in to face 2 batters. He threw 11 pitches on Thursday to secure the win, a come-from-behind win, an 8-5 win over the Green Wave of Fort Myers, a local team. Here's the 0-2 to right from Rosario. A little bit low and away. Boy, the umpire almost lifted his arm up there. He wanted to. It was that close. Uncle Muggs sporting the Matter Academy hats here in the booth. That one's way outside, even though Amador did his best framing job there, but not going to fool veteran umpire behind the plate. And boy, it's so hot. You could see his shirt is just full of like sweat patches. It's not even the same color it was. It's like 2 shades darker. That's how hot it is. It's 90 plus. Here's the 2-2 swung on and grounded foul by the Chapel dugout. The Wesley Chapel Wildcats. They came in with a 19-14 record. Trip Merrill's their head coach. Bud Merrill's in the dugout with them. So is Thomas Byron and Brett Messer. Here's the 2-2 pitch with no outs in the top of the 5th. And that's a weak ground ball, just foul first base. We'll do the 2-2 all over again. The Matter Academy Lions scored their 3 runs in the bottom of the 1st inning. They were followed by another run in the 2nd inning. And the 4th inning, they scored their 5th run. Even though the Wildcats are out hitting them 7-5, on the scoreboard it's 5-1. Here's the 2-2 to right. Outside, and the count goes full. And another good framing job there by Jacob Amador. He tried to bring that one back in, but it was just outside. Cole Ranchel, the 4th batter, is on deck. And there's one that, wow, ooh, he wanted that one. I'll tell you, Amador came out of his crouch, and he was ready to throw that one to third base. That's how close that one was, but it went in the way of Chapel, and now they have a runner on first base with their 4th batter up, Cole Ranchel. Wow. I can't say anything about the umpire. I can only say they're doing a great job. And if you watch my show on Sunday, our show, me and Chappie, there's a hard ground ball to Lorenzo. He goes to his right 2 steps. He goes to Noguera to get the first out. And that's the only out. Noguera had to play first base at second base and just stretch out and try to grab that one and keep his foot on there because Lorenzo's throw was a little bit towards the mound. So we're going to do it all over again, but this time with 1 out and a runner on first base. Jojo Guevara, the 3rd baseman, steps in from the right-hand side with 1 out in the top of the 5th. He takes Rosario's first pitch outside wide for a ball. Quevedo, Lorenzo, Noguera, and Arrieta are your infield Amadors behind the plate. That one, Rosario tried to sidearm that one there a little bit. It looked a little awkward. Excuse me. There's a hard hit ball to Dylan Fernandez in center field. He freezes for a minute, goes back a step, and he catches it chest high for the second out of the inning. Hey, this is not Fox, okay? We're allowed to make a couple mistakes here and there. All right, now a little mound visit between the catcher Amador and Noguera. And I'm going to go to the chats. How can I watch the game? HFSN, HSFN, FS, I don't know. So many initials out here. Yeah, bring joy. I want to come down to Key West every weekend, hang out with Jack and Randy and the guys down there and get some of those sweets from Coach Enrique's place down there in downtown. I forget what it's called, but man, we had so much fudge and oh my God, that place is so good. All right, the left-handed batting DH Aiden Gwynn steps in and quickly a strike to him. And that ball's high. So 1-1 the count with 2 outs and a runner on first base. Here's the 1-1 to Gwynn with courtesy runner on first base. Can't see that far. I need some help. Can't get a number. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And there's strike 3 called. It's going to end the inning. The Chapel Wildcats are going to leave 1 on base. They get none. We head to the bottom of the 5th in a 5-1 game. And you're listening to FSPN in the Class 5A FHSAA Championship game from Fort Myers. Thanks for listening, everyone.
South Florida high school baseball fans, this one's for you. Every Sunday at 6 a.m., grab your coffee and get ready for the most entertaining, informative, and downright hilarious recap of the week in high school baseball. Hosted by Anthony Chappie Castillo and Brian Uncle Muggs Gonzalez, this show covers all the action from the past week. Big hits, game-saving plays, standout moments, and more. Check out the Player Spotlight, where we sit down with some of South Florida's top talent and get to know the stars behind the stats. Then swing by the Coach's Corner, where we interview local head coaches and dive into their strategy, leadership, and the heart of the game. And don't miss your chance to be part of the show. We feature fan interaction via Instagram, so send us your hot takes, questions, and shout-outs. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay in the loop and help us grow this incredible baseball community. Every play, every player, every Sunday. This is the South Florida High School Baseball Recap Show. Don't miss it.
Welcome back, high school baseball fans, to FSPN's audio-only coverage of the Class 5A final game. From Fort Myers, it's the FHSAA Class 5A final. Dylan Fernandez, the leadoff batter, just took one square in the back to lead off the inning with a hit by pitch. That's going to hurt, but he's a big boy. Fernandez, all of 6'2", 225, and he's built like a truck. Quevedo steps up to the plate, and there's another guy that's built like a linebacker. Hey, one Esponda, and Esponda, Dylan, Brian Fernandez, and Yodelkis get together. They look like a front four. They could be a defensive front four on any college. There's some big guys, big guys. Now they're looking at Dylan. Boy, that caught him square in the back. So he's stretching himself out there a little bit, trying to get loose. All right, he seems to be all right. He's back on first base. Yodetkis is in the box. Swings mightily at that one and hits it foul out of the stadium. This guy's got power. Even his foul balls are like incredible. So 1-1 the count to the third baseman, the Florida State commit. And there's a ground ball to the second base. This could be two. Fabone over to Hartley. Hartley back to right, and that is a double play, a 4-6-3 double play. And that's okay. That's just, we're getting closer to the ring. That's all. Now coming up to bat, Brian Arrieta, and he flew out, got walked his first time up. So with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th, the Lions are only that much closer to getting me a ring. All right, Chappie, I'm going to ask for 1-2. Boy, and that one hits off the pitcher, boy, and he's going to be hurt. Fleming's doubled over. They're going to get him at first, which was a bang-bang play there. But, boy, they're going to come out and look at Fleming. And they caught him right in the face almost. Wow. Thank God he put the glove up. Okay, the Lions are going to get none. And we're heading to the top of the 6th inning with your score 5-1. And let's hope Fleming is okay. We'll be right back right after this. Welcome back to Fort Myers, to Hammond Stadium, the site of the Class 5A FHSAA final game between the visiting team on the scoreboard, the Wesley Chapel Wildcats, and the Mater Academy Lions that are up 5-1. Alfred Rosario is still your pitcher in there, and he's going to face the 7-8-9 hitter, Connor Franklin, Jacob Christensen, and Bryce Fleming. And the pitcher, Fleming, is okay. Chase got hit with a wicked line drive off the bat of Arrieta. It ricocheted over to shortstop, and the shortstop threw him out at first base. And here we are. I don't want to say, I don't want to do that countdown. I don't want to be the countdown guy, but we only have 6 outs away from me wearing a ring. Right here, I'm going to put it on this one. Get a big one, a big fat ring for me. All right, first pitch from Rosario was a ball high to Franklin, the right fielder. Boy, and that one just missed inside. Top of the 6th, 5-1 game. And the Mater Academy Lions have had this game in a stranglehold. They've had them in headlock since the first inning. They scored 3. They had a couple of nice defensive plays, a double play, a nice diving place by Hilary La Rosa that doubled up a runner. And I'll tell you what, they're really playing. Lorenzo's playing some good shortstop. Iker Noguera's playing some good second base. And what can I say about Jacob Amador behind the plate? Here's the 3-0 pitch to the 7th batter, and it splits the plate in half. And we have a 3-1 count. This will be the second title in team history if the Mater Academy Lions can hold on to win. They haven't won in 11 years. And that one catches the corner for strike 2. So the count goes full now. Rosario digs, gets his face out of the glove, and that one's hit hard. It's going to fall in front of Fernandez in center field for a base hit. And they're going to get their leadoff batter on for these Wesley Chapel Wildcats. Nobody out, top of the 6th. Jacob Christensen steps in. And Christensen has been walked and he grounded out. And here comes Tito Rodriguez with a slow walk. It's hard to read Tito. I mean, nowadays, Rosario doesn't want to give up the rock. He's shaking his head no. I could read him from here. He's saying no, no, no. And the veteran deserves to stay in there. It's a 5-1 lead. I don't see anybody. I think Gabo Granadillo and maybe Adrian Peña are warming up over there, but they're just throwing the ball around. They're not warming up like they're coming in the game. So the leadoff runner, and they're going to leave him in there, and that's a good call by Tito Rodriguez. They're going to leave his veteran in there and hope for a double play. There's nobody out. It's the top of the 6th inning. The Wildcats from Wesley Chapel have the leadoff runner on. He's the 7th batter, Connor Franklin, and up to bat is Jacob Christensen. And right after this game, Joey Wardlow, a Key West guy, is going to take his St. Thomas Aquinas Raiders, hopefully to the promised land. And they didn't even call time in. And the runner ran to second base, and they're going to call him back to first base. And that was a pretty slick move, but the home plate umpire wasn't even set yet. And the crowd's letting him hear it. He's letting him have it. Look at that. They're booing him. So the runner comes back. Connor Franklin, nice try. Slick move there. Trying to run when everybody wasn't looking, but the game wasn't even called into play yet. Now it is. See if you go now. That's a hard hit ball to Quevedo. He comes up with it nicely. Fires over to Noguera for 1. Over to 2. And they got him for a double play. Yes, sir. They got him a double play. Quevedo with an excellent scoop at third base. Came up and fired a strike to Noguera at second base. That turned it nicely. And we had to wait for that umpire's call over there on first base. But he finally pulled the trigger. And that erases the base runner. And there's 2 outs now for the last batter, Bryce Fleming. And I'll tell you what, if they come out of here with this ring, that play by Quevedo had a lot to do with it. Because they just killed the rally. Any type of rally that the Wildcats have tried to get going this game, the defense for the Lions have been there. La Rosa with a great play. Brandon Lorenzo with another excellent play. And now this one by Yodelkis Quevedo have just turned the tide here in this game. Now Rosario's pitching with some vengeance there. So the ball goes 1-1, the count, with nobody on. Wow. 5-4-3 double play. And Rosario's just pumped up now. Boy, I wish I had a camera on him. I think there's like smoke coming out of his nose. There's fire in his eyes. Rosario kicks and deals. Oh, he got too excited. He hit the runner in the butt. And now he's staring him down a little bit. Come on, 10. You don't need all that. Bryce Fleming with the stare down on his way to 10. You got hit in the ankle, buddy. Take it easy. It's going to bring up Pabon. Well, and you thought that Rosario was just going to pump his way, just going to adrenaline his way through this inning. And that slider just got away from him, and it caught Fleming in the ankle or in the calf. Fleming's all right. He's on first base with 2 out, and the leadoff batter's coming up now. From the right side, it's Dylan Pavon in a 5-1 game. And he quickly hits that one to Brandon Lorenzo, who comes a long way to first base. Another play. Wow, he says he was safe. Wow, man. Oh, guys, you got to watch my show on next Sunday. Not tomorrow, but next Sunday. Watch my show, and I'm going to give you my opinion on the officiating here in this final game. Wow. That was too much of an obvious call there, and I can't say anything bad, obviously, about the umpiring. I think they all do an excellent job. They're taking a look at Lorenzo now, who made an excellent backhand play, and he was in shallow left field. And now the trainer has come out, and they're looking at, I think, his leg. Is he on his face? Is he on his back? There's 4 or 5 players huddled around Brandon Lorenzo in shallow left field, just behind shortstop. And he came up with another excellent play. He slid onto his knee. He came up firing. From here, he looked like he got the runner. But according to the first base coach, he didn't. This could just be a cramp on Thursday's game. There was some cramping going on. It is extremely, extremely hot out there. And now he comes up to his feet. They're stretching him out. This is a hamstring or a cramp, I think. A cramp, not a hamstring. So he's laying down. They're stretching it out. He's on his back. They got him with the leg up in the back like that. I'm going to have a chance here to go over some. But a tough break there for Lorenzo and the Lions because that was an obvious out at first base. And Todd Becker's wanting to get an injury on what player? The Wesley Chapel player? Because the pitcher, he got hit with a comebacker, and it looks like Chase Fleming is all right. That was a third out of the inning, so I couldn't see him if he's getting any treatment or anything in the dugout. But they still are attending to Lorenzo in shallow left field, who seems to be coming up on his feet now for the first time. And he's putting his cap back on, and the crowd's coming to their feet. They give him a round of applause. Oh boy, he got the short end of that call. The very short end of that call. And that was an excellent play, and he's turned in a bunch of them. No, I don't support, I like baseball in general, but I got a message here from Golf Plus Football. Do you support Chapel? I mean, no. Look at is it obvious who I'm going for here? I'm going with the Matter Academy Lions guy. Come on. I like your uniforms, though. You guys look kind of cute in that light blue. But I am a Matter Academy fan. Let's make that really obvious right now. So, yeah, I'm going to be biased towards my team. So, Pabon's on first base. An infield hit. Courtesy runners on second base. There's 2 out. And that one's over for a strike, and the count goes 1-1. Do I support Chapel? Who is this guy? Swinging a foul ball. Yeah, that's right, Bring Joy. No Chapel, no glaze. What is that? Is that a donut? Is that a donut reference? There's a check swing, and he did go around. Strike 3, that ends the rally. The Chapel Wildcats leave 2, they get none. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning, and your score is 5-1. You're listening to FSPN, and it's the Class 5A FHSAA final game. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Hammond Stadium in Fort Myers, part of the Lee County Sports Complex for the Class 5A FHSAA last game. This is it for Class 5A. This is the championship. Let's bring up the scoreboard. It's the bottom of the 6th inning. Brandon Lorenzo steps in, and he's been hampering cramps or injuries. He's turned in about a dozen plays in the last 2 games, and he's not one for worry here. He swung at the first pitch and fouled it straight back. And Fleming is okay, everybody. The pitcher, Chase Fleming, for the Wildcats, got hit in like the hip area on a line drive, and then B just Bilo just put one in front of, bunted one right in front of Fleming, who hurries down the line. Boy, if there was something wrong with his leg, it didn't look like it there. He hustled his way down to first base, and he got himself a bunt hit. So the leadoff batter for the Lions is on base with an infield hit, and it's going to bring the pitcher DH batting from the right side. It's Alfred Rosario. So Fleming is okay. Rosario seems to be okay. Fleming from the stretch. There goes the runner. Boy, Brandon Lorenzo, and he's in there safe. Lorenzo steals second base. The pitch was called a strike, I believe. Boy, if he had any ailment or anything going on after all that, we spent 10 minutes out there massaging him. Now he's on second base with nobody out. Rosario squares the bunt, and he puts one down. Fleming comes to get it. The runner's going to go to third. Fleming goes to right at first base for the first out. So a sacrifice bunt. A good call there by head coach Bencomo, playing some small ball here at the end. The Lions are going to send up the right fielder, the big the right fielder, batting from the left side. Let's get that straight. Well, it's only two sides, Muggs. You think you can get it right? And he's going to face Fleming, the right-handed pitcher. He takes the first pitch over for a strike. The left-handed batting right fielder. Say that fast 10 times. He'll be followed by Hildy La Rosa. Fleming's next pitch is outside and low. Well, and I guess the Wildcats are going to go with Fleming because there's nobody. I mean, there's not a soul in that bullpen. There's a hard hit ball past the drawn in infield. The diving Hartley misses, and Brandon Lorenzo is going to score run number 6 for the Matter Academy Lions. So who was it? Golf plus football EDZ. Here, buddy, this one's for you, bro. I'm going to do this one for you. Bam, 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 bam. We got 6. They're going to throw me out of here. We got a pinch runner coming in. And it's number Bladalpina. It's Blaze, not Blady. It's Blaze. Could it be Blady? It is Blady. Blady's 48, right? Blady's in there to run, the senior, and he had a moment in the Thursday's game because it being a senior, of course, that's his last game, and it was a semifinal game. La Rosa takes a strike from Fleming. So 6-1, runner on first base, 1 out. Quickly 2 strikes, and that one's lifted to the right side. Franklin comes over, but there's tons of room here. That lands foul inside the ballpark. But I'll tell you, you can line up an 18-wheeler over there and still not touch the foul line and not touch, the wall or anything. It's just a lot of room. Major League Ball Club. It's huge. Ballpark. So 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner on first base. La Rosa from the right side, swings and misses at that one. And he goes down on strikes for the second out of the inning. Maybe a little bit high out of the strike zone. But I think at this point, we just want to get it over with and get 3 outs and give me my number 9.5. I think I'm a 9.5. I haven't put a ring on in 40 years, but I mean, there's a throw over to first. Badalpina gets back in time. Jacob Amador's the batter from the right side to face Fleming, who's been a trooper. Let me tell you, Fleming he's been a trooper for these Wildcats. Throws that one outside for ball 1. And I got to hand it to everybody over there, Trip Merrill and their whole crew. I mean, they got a scrappy ball club. To beat Lincoln and to get here is amazing. Swing and a miss by Amador. Quickly strike 2. Sorry, 1-1 to Amador. with 2 outs. Valdelpina's on first base. Here's the pitch from Fleming, and it's swung on and hit foul into the screen. Let me put up my Matter Academy logo there so you all can see it. If you have any doubts who I'm going for. Duh. There's another foul ball by Amador, hanging tough. ¿Qué le pasa al tipo este? Me está mandando un mensaje a alguien. No sé en dónde. Tiene que ser fanático de Wesley Chapo, pero me está diciendo a quién tú le vas. Coño, ¿a quién tú le voy? Es obvio, caballero. Tengo un Matter Academy por aquí. Tengo los logos Matter Academy, 3 gorras. You know, ¿a quién le voy? ¿A los Yankees? Another foul ball by Jacob Amador. We're having too much fun up here in the booth. 2-2 the count with 2 outs. I hope you guys are having as much fun as I am. Come on, let's chat, you guys. Send me some messages. I'm having too much fun by myself. And that ball's hit to right field. Connor Franklin's coming in on it. He's got a beat. He dives and leaves his feet and makes the catch. Wow, what a catch by Franklin in right field. An awesome display of defense there. Makes the 3rd out. The Lions leave 1, but they get 1. And your score is 6-1. And the Matter Academy Lions are only 3 outs away from giving me a ring. We'll be right back right after this. Welcome back, everyone, to FSPN's audio coverage of the Class 5A final in the FHSAA State Championship. It's been an ongoing long season. We've been at this since February 10th. These Matter Academy Lions started off 1-5. A lot of people had them, they counted them out, and they had their doubts, but not these guys. These guys are confident. They're believers. They've bought into what Humberto Bencomo and his coaching staff is doing, and it starts on the top. These guys were gifted to them a beautiful locker room at the beginning of the season by the faculty, staff, and the principal, Alex Tamargo. He gave them an outstanding facility, and they take pride in that, and I think that propelled them into having this season and having this confidence to be where they are now, and that is the final game in the Class 5A FHSAA Championship game from Fort Myers Hammond Stadium, Lee County Sports Complex. We're 3 outs away from a ring, baby. From a ring. From a ring. And it's not going to be easy. They got a tough part of the lineup here to face. They're going to face 3, 4, and 5, so they're going to have to earn it here in the top of the 7th inning. They're going to face Zori Wright, Cole Ranchel, and J.J. Guevara. Get through those 3 guys, and it's championship time. Most of every Matter Academy fan has worked their way down through Hammond Stadium, and they're all by the dugout. Rosario still on the mound. Let's bring up the scoreboard. Top of the 7th, 6-1. First pitch swinging and a strike and a miss. And I don't like to do these countdowns, folks, but we're going to do one today. Who am I going for? It's hilarious. There's a pitch outside, and the count evens at 1-1. Here's Rosario from the complete windup. Waldo Llorente says, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Lock in, Lions. Last inning. And bring joy. Bring joy, you're from Key West? And she's a Matter Academy Lion fan. Here's the 1-1 inside. Boy, it almost catches a piece of right again. The count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rosario comes set. He's got his glove in his face. He kicks and he deals. And that's taken for strike 3 called. Zoe Wright gets him looking. Rosario gets Zoe Wright looking, and that's going to bring up Cole Ranchel. And that's going to be the pitch count. That's going to be it for Rosario. That's going to be it, and I'm on my feet. Rosario has reached his pitch count, and I think we're going to get the junior Adrian Peña. But everybody get on your feet because he deserves it. The senior. Southwest Oklahoma State commit, number 9. He's been a baller for them all season long. He's been their ace. He's been their go-to guy. I've never met a more confident pitcher in my life. This guy says that he is the man, and he is the man. And here comes the junior, Adrian Peña. He's coming in to close this door. We need to get 2 outs from the junior, Adrian Peña. And it's ring time, baby. It's ring. It's ring time. Uncle Muggs. A lot of teams out there I like. I love those Killian Cougars. I like Springs. I love the Spartans. I like those Firebirds and Doral. But my heart is with these guys. These guys, they had to work for everything. Nothing has been handed to these guys. And here comes Peña. And I told him the other night, I go, don't be surprised if you get the rock on the final game and everybody pilitas on you. I'm going to go to Spanish for a little while. Hay un out en la última entrada. La entrada de las 7. Están bateando Wesley Chapel. Hay un out. El límite de los pitches, Alfred Rosario, el que abrió para los Matter Lions, llegó el límite de los picheos que pudo pichar hoy. Y ahora calentando, está pichando Adrian Peña. Él es un pitcher de la mano derecha. Él es un junior. Y él tiene la responsabilidad ahora de sacar 2 outs y ganar un campeonato aquí para Matter Academy, que está ganando ahorita 6-1 con 1 out en la parte de arriba del sexto inning. Séptimo, ¿no? Seventh inning. And we're ready to jump out of this window. I'll tell you what, if the Lions win, we're going to blow the roof off this place. And Hammond Stadium doesn't even have a roof. Just a few more warm-up pitches. And we're about ready to get things going here. And just as soon as this game is over, the Matter Lions have to get back on the bus and head back home because today is prom. Hay que ir a bailar con las noviecitas y traerle las flores y el corsage porque hoy es el prom. We're going to bring this up, bring the scoreboard up, give me my logo. And we're ready for 2 more outs. There's a better look at my logo right there. There you go. Look at that logo. Oh, it's on this side. All right, Chappie, you watching? Bring Joy, you ready? Waldo Llorente, you ready? Golf and football, you ready? Cole Rancho's the batter. He's the 4th batter. You can't take this guy lightly. He'll be followed by Jojo Guevara, who's also a good hitter, so stop playing around. First pitch from Adrian Peña is a ball. Throws that one over to even the count at 1-1. And there's 1 out in the top of the 7th inning. Hay un out en el 7º inning. Está pichando Adrian Peña. Sin hombre en base. Y Peña sí la tira dura. Esa se le fue un poquitico. That one's a little bit high for Adrian Peña. Poquitico alta. Que ahora se está limpiando los spikes en una alfombrita que está detrás del home, detrás del mound. Que ellos se limpian toda la basurita que tienen entre los spikes. Y una buena línea para Lorenzo que se tira de cabeza. Saca en primera base. Tremenda jugada by Brandon Lorenzo. Ya van como 8 jugadas que ese chamaco se ha tirado de cabeza hoy. Está medio lesionado. Tiene ¿cómo se dice? Calambre. Lo han tenido que dar suero de todo. Estos muchachos con un calor. Ha hecho una jugada ahora Brandon Lorenzo. Increíble. Let me tell you something. Florida Gators, you are lucky to have this guy. You are lucky to have Brandon Lorenzo on your team. We're going to get ready to head down and do some interviews. Uncle Muggs here, losing my mind. Two outs, top of the seventh. And that's a fly ball to Noguera. He's going to get it. Noguera's going to win. When we won the Matter win, the Matter Academy Lions are the champions. We're the champs. We're the 5A champs. We're taking the ring back to Miami. And all you doubters and all you Matter haters, you better zip it right now, baby, because we're the champs. Whoa! Whoa! Matter! Go Matter! We'll be right back with the San Thomas game right after this. You're listening to FSPN. Thanks for listening, everybody.